Hello, hello, beautiful people. I am in such a good mood today because it is quiet in this house. You hear that? I love that sound. It's my favorite song. But no, really. The holidays are officially over. The kids are back home and it is very quiet in here. I love my babies, but oh my God, boys are so noisy. I have nephews. So it is nice to have a quiet house. And you know what? I say that girls are probably noisy too. I just don't know because I have nephews. So I wouldn't know if girls are also noisy. I'm not a noisy girl, so I don't know. It is nice to not have a kid show on my television. It is nice to not hear toys clanking. Oh, God, it is so nice. Anyway, I really just want to follow up on my last video because I feel like I'm always following up on my last videos. Really, I want to speak on what I am doing this year. I know I kind of like gave you guys something, but not really anything. Also, I am so sorry for the glare. Y'all know how it is in the wintertime. I'm trying to like back up. If I stay in one place, it probably won't be that annoying, but oh my God, if I move, it's a wrap. So, okay, I think that should do it. There should not be a glare, but if there is, I am so sorry. This year, I've been thinking, I don't really want to do better. That sounds bad. I know. It sounds awful. But really what I mean is like, I feel like every year it is always, especially at the beginning of the year, it is always like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm not even talking about resolutions. Like there's always a challenge going on or always some arc going on. Like in the years past, it's been like, oh, how to become that girl this year, how to become an it girl this year, how to become her. And then it's like right now we're entering this interesting trend of analog life, which I do absolutely love. I think it is an amazing thing to do, especially because doom scrolling sucks. I'm not really partaking in the analog life trend because I've been doing that for years already. But I am kind of like on the sidelines, or maybe more on the stands, just like kind of watching like an audience member and just taking note here and there. I have been doing analog stuff for years and it is interesting to see something that you've been doing for years become a trend, but that is just the nature of social media. So I'm definitely not mad at it. I love it. I want more people to be more analog, and I would love more people to buy more physical media or thrift more physical media, whichever, because you do not have to purchase full price. Now me, I'm going to purchase full price because that's just who I am. But I do love this trend. But because like I said, I've been doing it, it's just kind of like, this is just my life. And there is a part of me that is like, isn't it a bit counterintuitive to be like promoting this analog life, but you're online? But then again, like, how would you spread awareness? So I see a couple different angles of this whole analog life, but I absolutely adore it. And don't be surprised if you see videos of me saying anything about physical media because I am heavy on it and have been heavy on it. I do not like having everything be a subscription. I do not like everything being in a cloud. I dislike it so much. So I'm very big on things being analog, manual, physical. So do not think that I'm like, ugh, the analog trend. This year, I just want to keep doing me, living my life, existing, not necessarily resting because I'm that's already implemented into my life. I'm very big on rest. If you've watched any of my videos, then you know that, but I'm existing. Like this is just going to be a very chill year, fingers crossed, in my personal life. There's a whole lot going on. The state of the world right now is very questionable. I mean, it has been for a while, but especially right now. And hopefully we can just sit back and chill. But I have my doubts. Anyway, I'm not really trying to pick up all these new productivity habits or implement any new systems. Like I'm going to keep pushing along, chugging along what I was already doing. There doesn't need to be anything new going on this year. And I was like thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I am so panicked for no reason. I don't need anything new. So that's really what I wanted to say in the last video, but I don't know. I feel like I kind of got away from it. Let's talk about this journal and what I will be using it for, because I was actually struggling on what to use my Sterling Ink 2026 A5 common planner. I call it a commonplace planner, a common planner, and it's the vertical weekly. So I was really struggling on what to use this for. But what I'm going to use it for is all of my beautiful hobbies / passions that I have. And right now I am really big on knitting. I have been knitting since about December 21st, something like that. And I have already been to the yarn store twice within the last week. I want to log in my projects, and whenever I'm working on them, I want to kind of write down where I left off. And this is for all my projects: knitting, crochet, sewing. If I pick up any other project where I have to kind of like start and stop, I will put it in this planner. And because I know I'm going to be knitting pretty much daily, I'm going to be crocheting. Like if I don't feel like knitting, I'm going to crochet. If I don't feel like doing either or, I'll probably sew. So I just have all of that in here. And I think it's a good idea to write down where you do leave off in your projects, especially like at night. So I do tend to do nighttime knitting right now. I do think it's important to log in where you left off, because that way, if you're reading some sort of pattern, you can kind of go back and be like, okay, I left off right here. Here we go. Because sometimes I get really confused, especially with knitting. With crochet, you can just see where you left off, and I don't count my rows, y'all. I do not count my rows until after the fact with crochet. But with knitting, you have to count your rows. So currently I have 3 projects that I've cast on. I don't know if it's casted or cast, so don't mind me. I'm going to say cast because you wouldn't say cast it. Anyway, I have the Scandi Sweater cast on by Clean Cocos, and then I have the Montpellier, I think that's how you say that, Slipover by November Knits. And then last but not least, the one I'm most excited for is the Camisole No. 9 by My Favorite Things. I'm very excited for that because that'll be like my technically second, but really my first summer knit. Because one of the things that I'm trying to do is create my own wardrobe, especially spring and summer pieces. I don't necessarily want to focus on fall and winter because I have a decent fall and winter wardrobe. Once summer comes, I will probably start working on my fall wardrobe just with certain types of pieces. I don't like long sleeves like that, so I'm not like pressed to make a sweater. I also don't know how I feel about raglan. And I feel like every hand knit thing is a raglan piece. I don't know how I feel about it. It's interesting. But I do want to get to a point where I am self-drafting. I'm free knitting. I know me. I don't like most of the patterns out there. Everybody has a very classic look, and I tend to aim towards more alternative. I'll just have to figure it out. I want to have warm tops that are short sleeve, if that makes sense. And then I can throw a jacket over it or a cardigan. I probably will make more cardigans than I will pullovers because I'm not a sweater girl unless it's like a grandpa sweater. And this is what I mean by grandpa sweater. I'm just not the biggest fan of sweaters like that. I find wool to be very itchy. If I am going to wear a sweater, it is going to be cashmere. I'm big on cashmere, but cashmere yarn is expensive just like cashmere is. That's just something I'll have to figure out. That is what this planner will be for. And I'm very excited to start on that because I had that idea and I was like, well, how am I going to write down these projects? Like, what if I'm like not working on them? If I'm not working on them, it's okay. The page can be blank. I can put stickers in a week if I miss a week. Like if I'm away from my house, well, no, I'll probably bring knitting from me if I go on a trip. I know me. Hello. Okay, I know I don't have that much clothes on, but don't worry, I have on clothes. I just finished washing my hair, but I wanted to show you guys the top that I finished over Christmas time. I want to say it took me about if I started on the 21st, I finished the first one, or thought I was finishing the first one on like the 23rd or 4th, something like that. But I ended up restarting it because all it was purl stitches. There were no knit stitches. So yeah, I started again. And obviously, when you redo something for the second or third time, it's so much easier and it flies by so much faster. Like the Camisole #9 that I'm working on by My Favorite Things. I feel like when I go to do that again, if I decide to do that again, it is going to fly by. Like the first time I was doing it, I was like, I don't know any of these stitches. But I do have pasties on, so don't worry about that. You are not seeing anything. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. But I think I want to do it again because this is very tight. So I would probably size up, maybe, especially because I know I'm probably going to be working out a lot more during this season. So I think it's best if I just go up one size. But this is definitely a summer knit for sure. It is 100% cotton. This is the Lovecraft. I'll put it up right here, what yarn it is, but it is cotton and it's 2 skeins held together. So it's double threaded, I guess is what they call it. But going forward, if I'm going to do the 2 strings held together, I'm just going to combine them into one skein or one ball because that'll make things so much more easy. But yeah, I think this came out so good. Here's the back because I really didn't show the back. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. The ribbing is atrocious, so that's another reason why I would probably just redo it. But yeah, I think it's a great little crop top, perfect for the summer, and it is cotton, so it's very breathable. I think this would also look good in a cotton linen blend or just linen. I think it would look really good. So okay, so that was the progress on my Camisole #9 from My Favorite Things. And so far, I am loving it. I have about 10 more rows, no, 18 more rows before I can join in the round. And once I join in the round, I feel like the rest will fly by because I'm on that back panel now and it's going, baby. So yeah, I'm very like happy about that because it's coming together pretty quickly, but if I didn't have the time like I do right now, it would definitely be a slower process. But I still feel like I'd still like the process of it all. But I haven't worked on it today, but I'm about to get to it here soon. I actually had some outside stuff to do. Like I had to go pick up my car. I had to run to the grocery store this morning. Just, yeah, all the stuff that I actually don't hate grocery store runs, especially when I'm by myself because I only usually need to grab a few things. But I could not find sardines anywhere, and that really upset me. Like sardines are such a good go-to. Like when I don't know what to eat, sardines are always there for me because they're easy. You just open the can and eat them or get some crackers and pickles and there you go. But I couldn't do that today. So I'll have to go further out to go find my sardines. I'll probably end up going to Trader Joe's because they always have a decent selection there. But I wanted to talk about this video that I saw. Like I literally just saw it while I was scrolling a little bit. Yes, I'm still scrolling a little. I'm not trying to like stop scrolling completely because there are still things that I want to see on the internet. I still want to be thoroughly entertained. So it's unrealistic of me to be like, no internet at all. So the video that I ran across was a girl who saw another girl in another video. If you're struggling with being a vegan because you like bacon so much, be a vegan plus bacon. And then she says you should apply that to more things in your life. And I think that's funny. The comments are hilarious because they're talking about like, why give your all when you could just give 50%, or why you can just half-ass it and, you know, eventually a half-ass will equal a whole ass. So like, I just think that's hilarious. TikTok comments are undefeated sometimes. I remember when Twitter used to be like that. She ended the video with saying, like, why be imprisoned by your own rules, basically. And that really got me thinking, because that is pretty much this how I feel about 2026 right now and how I want to go forward this year. Like, I don't want to be imprisoned by all these rules that I set for myself, all these different systems and routines going forward, like even past 2026. Like, yeah, I want to have some structure because I definitely need some structure, but I think of content, for instance, putting out content and constantly having to worry about the algorithm, which is kind of an unwritten rule that, like, you have to post this type of video in order to get the views and the likes, the engagement and all that. And then you end up having all these rules for yourself, and then you're just not happy with it at all. So it ends up being this vicious cycle. And it's not just content. This can apply to many things in your life. So yeah, that was just my little rant, just the thoughts floating around in my head, and I wanted to share. And I don't know, I kind of just want to come on here and be more candid about some thoughts, even though I can be very long-winded, because 9 minutes, oh my God. Okay, do not mind my hair, my lack of makeup, my lack of clothes on. It is Sunday and I'm just relaxing today. But last night while I was watching the wild card football games, I got this back portion done. I am in awe. There are parts that are like a little wonky because when I was purling, my hand started hurting, and then I like Googled ways to like decrease like hand pain when knitting, especially purling, and Portuguese knitting came up. So I was like, whoa, let's look into that. So I started to do Portuguese knitting, which it eases the tension a little bit or loosens it a little bit. But I do like that style of knitting. I don't really need it for the knit stitch, but for purl stitch, it is just, it, so much less movement. And because I continental knit, because I crochet, purling can feel very awkward. It hurts my hand. The Portuguese knitting definitely helped. I have, I think, 5 more rows until I have to start increasing every other row. And I think I have a total of 21 rows before I can join in the round. So, yeah. This is very cool. And I can tell that it's going to fit. It might be a little bit... Actually, I don't think it's small because I used the size guide and the size guide was fairly big. So I think it's going to fit just right. But yeah, 21 more rows until I can join in the round. I'm trying to get rid of yarn. Except this is only one skein. This has been one skein this whole time. And that's insane. If this was crochet, this would have been at least 1.5 already. But I probably will end up using about 1.5 skeins. No, not 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. 1.5. I am so happy that I am knitting. There are so many projects that I've seen. I'm not really into the sweaters, but there is one sweater that I saw that I'm like, oh. Every time I get ready to do some B-roll for my knitting, so that this video is not just me talking the entire time, someone FaceTimes me, calls me. Pretty much I just get distracted. Yesterday, my boyfriend just popped over right as I was about to start filming B-roll. So today I should be okay. I am going to frog this because I messed up the ribbing right here. I was just going to like keep it in there and be like, no, it's okay to have imperfections, but I don't know. I just feel like because I'm making it for my mom, I don't want there to be like a bunch of imperfections in here. So yeah, I'm going to frog it.